Hi, Robbie. So hopefully now with the first 2 weeks of school out of the way, you're less busy because you mentioned that those were the busiest weeks of the quarter. And so with that out of the way, we're hoping that maybe you can watch this video and learn about the LaTeX editor that we built. And we're hoping that, if you decide that you like it, you can show it to students. So we're just going to show you a really high level demo of how our editor works.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is our website, parchment.com. Yeah, Arjun said most of it, so I'm just going to log in and let's talk about some things. So log in only works for UW emails, by the way, and you'll have to create an account. So once we log in, you'll see you get to this page where this is our documents page. So we have no documents right now, and we have the option to create documents. So let's create a document. We're just going to call this, for example, CSE 311, homework 1, just as a test document. And once we create, we get taken to this editor page. Arjun, do you want to talk about the editor?
Sure. So on the left corner here, we have the normal typesetting operations, bold, italic, underline, strike through, and clear formatting. All of these have the normal shortcuts, Command B, Command I, Command U, etc., that you would expect that you can use. On the right here, we have save. So the user will have to save this document periodically to save the changes to the cloud. We have undo and redo buttons here. Command Z and Shift Command Z work as well. And we have a download a PDF button. We also have we implemented this for fun, but people love their dark mode. So, and then most importantly, here in the middle, we have three buttons which will determine how and where you use LaTeX, which we'll talk about more in a bit.
Awesome. Yeah. So let's just go over, just writing some basic text. So let's say we're writing a homework and we have, problem 1, 2, and 3. I can write something like problem 1 here. This might say problem 1. And we can try different styles here. So this was bold text. Here we have non-bolded text. We can make this italic, underline, strike through, all of these different kinds of formatting here. And yeah, so we can, let's say, write problem 1, go back down here. Sorry, this is still in bold, so we can just write out like this would be my solution to problem 1, and so on. Again, undo, redo, these kinds of things work as expected. Downloading to PDF will work. And yeah, this is our editor. So yeah, let's work in light mode for a bit. So the first thing is, we've shown a little bit of normal typing. We can continue to type, and our editor scales pretty efficiently. It scales to about 100 pages at this point, very fast. Yeah, you won't see any issues typing a huge document or anything like that, and we can demo that again. So aside from that, I guess the main feature here is LaTeX. So Arjun, do you want to talk about the different kinds of LaTeX and the different things we can do?
Sure. So the most basic type of LaTeX that you can use is this thing called vanilla LaTeX, or we've called it here VL. So these three buttons are only insertion buttons. So, for bold and underline, I can select and bold as expected. But for these buttons, if I select some text here, nothing's going to happen. But if I don't select and I press this button, I now have a vanilla LaTeX block in this document. And so I can type stuff and you can see that it's a little bit grayed out, which means that it's vanilla LaTeX. So anything you type in here, as soon as you click out of this, will get rendered as
LaTeX.
LaTeX. Yeah. So I can click, if I select, it goes back to LaTeX so you can edit it. I can click out, click back in, etc., etc. So let's write some LaTeX in there.
Sure. Yeah, I'll just do this on a separate line here. So yeah, let's write some LaTeX. So let's say we are trying to write a sum. I don't know, I0, we go till 5 of I squared. And like Arjun said, so we're in here. If I hit the right arrow to get out of it, you'll see this gets rendered into nice LaTeX. And yeah, this LaTeX right now is all, it can be inline, it can be on a separate line. All of those things are supported. So this is vanilla LaTeX. And again, I can click back into it. I can add some more things. I can add whatever I want in here. And this will just render perfectly as LaTeX every time I click out. Awesome. So that's vanilla LaTeX. I can talk about the next kind of LaTeX, which is MathQuill. So MathQuill is similar to vanilla LaTeX, but it uses this L button here. And when I click on the button, you'll see it pops us into this kind of menu here. Now, here we can also type similar kinds of LaTeX. Let's say I'm trying to type a sum. I can do \sum. But when I hit like a space bar and enter or something like that, you'll see this gets automatically rendered into actual the sum symbol. So I can go in here, I can type in like any LaTeX I want. And this is more similar to something like Desmos, let's say, that renders the LaTeX symbols in line as you're typing.
Yeah. So the key thing here is that using this is way faster and more snappy than using like the vanilla LaTeX block here. So this would be what Overleaf currently uses, which is great for super complicated math typing and stuff. But for our homework assignments, as we know, the students aren't really doing that. So for simple things, you can write a summation, for example, much faster than you would be otherwise. And that's why we think it'll save students lots of time. So yeah, I'm here. I can, click wherever I want inside the little window here. If I press the right arrow or I press enter, I can get out of this and it renders it, just like that.
Awesome. Yeah. So again, all of these things can be either inline, they can be on separate lines. The goal is to get this as cohesive with text as possible. Yeah, so that's vanilla LaTeX and that's dynamic LaTeX or MathQuill. The final thing that we have here is this LP button, which is for LaTeX paragraphs. Arjun, do you want to talk about LaTeX paragraphs?
Yeah. So basically, for these first two buttons, they only support inline small chunks of LaTeX. They don't support begin statements. So LaTeX paragraphs are a way that we can support begin statements and longer, basically, paragraphs of LaTeX. So if you click on that, Snakes, then here you can type the same exact stuff. So let's type a summation, for example. If you click out of it, it'll render normally, but we can also do like our begin statements here. So
sure. So let's get rid of the sum. Do a begin. What kind of begin would you want?
Let's do like an array for a table.
Sure. So we can do a begin array. We can do an end array. And I can say something like A and B and C. Is that not how it works?
That's actually a sample.
Yeah.
So this is not compile and it shows red. If I hover over it the right way.
Actually, anywhere. It just takes a second.
Unknown column alignment.
A at position 15.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like, a general error that you would get from something like Overleaf. If you Google the error, it might tell you, I think that you need something like
brackets.
These brackets, but C for the columns. And then you can get things like this. So again, this is mostly pretty standard LaTeX. But yeah, you can use this for things like tables. Again, like Arjun said, anything that's big that you would want to write. Let's say you're writing a proof or you're writing an equation, a set of equations that are big or anything like that. This would be really helpful.
Yeah. And then the other cool thing about this is you might be thinking, okay, well, this is great, but you're basically writing normal LaTeX, so you're not speeding anything up, right? But what we've done is we've actually, the vanilla LaTeX won't do anything here, but because you're basically already in a vanilla LaTeX environment. But if you press the dynamic LaTeX button or the LaTeX button, you'll actually get that similar window. So if you want to have a summation in your C column or an integral or whatever.
Sure, let's do an integral. Let's say 0 to like, I don't know, maybe pi for some reason. Yeah, we can have anything in here that you would want.
So if I click out of this, it renders the actual LaTeX that you're writing, right? It's just a faster way to write it.
And if I click back again, it'll render the thing. And then if I click fully out of it, you'll see we render everything perfectly in LaTeX.
Yeah. So these are the basic features. We also have pages. So if I type through the end of the page,
so you go all the way down and yeah, we have some stuff here.
You'll see a new page automatically. And then if he deletes that text, it'll go
Yep.
back to the page, to the first page. Um, a couple things to mention though, besides that, this is in beta. So I think that it's definitely, or we think that it's definitely ready to be used by students, but there are definitely bugs. Like
Mhm.
there's they're all small bugs. They're not going to really affect too much how usable the site is, but they are small things. So for example, like if I'm selecting text, you see how it's not you know, there's enters in between these lines of text, but it's not showing that, right? So small things like that are examples of bugs, but we plan to have most of them ironed out in the next few weeks and months. As and again, as students use them, you know, we'll get feedback. We'll continue to improve the editor. Um, Another limitation is that images don't work. So we don't have a way to for a user to put an image in this document. The way you can do it is you can basically download the document as a PDF and then use like on Max it's preview or whatever PDF editor you want and just like drag the image there,
Yeah.
you know, like separately
Yeah.
from the
You can
editor.
leave out some space or something
You
like
can leave out some space and yeah, put the image there.
Mhm.
Um, and then I mentioned earlier, download a PDF, working great. Uh, and yeah, so this is very, very high level, you know, a very, very high level of what we're trying to, what we've built for students.
Mhm.
And this video is for you, Robbie. So we'll make another video for students uh, in the next few days and send it to you as well. But please play with the editor if you have time and
Okay.
let us know what you think. Thanks so much.
Thank you.